Well, last week went better than expected. Nice to know that even after 2 years removed from using that set, Trick Room Gardevoir sure knows how to do her stuff. This week, however, it's going to be a much different story, though, sadly. What's going on, everybody? You have Tone here, and I am the coach of your Miami Palafins, bringing you guys week number 3 of the PPL Bolt and Flare Division, or PPL D-League, where this week we are taking on one of my good friends in the Draft League community, Razorrclawww, coach of the Galaxy Brain Golisopods. Be sure to check them out in the description down below, as well as all the other coaches taking part in the Bolt and Flare Division. And for the most part, I'm not going to lie, this matchup is probably going to be one of the more unique ones. Not because of the Pokemon taking part in this matchup, more so it's going to come down to the people. And I mean that with the most utmost of respect. And basically what I mean by that is, I've known Razorrclawww for the better part of 5 years now. And if it's one thing that I can really respect about Razorrclawww is multitudes of things. If it's one word that can basically describe how Razorrclawww plays, let alone builds, the word is definitely unorthodox. There is no Pokemon that he's willing to say it looks bad. He can make it work, and he can make it usable and make it look legit, all that stuff. So looking at the matchup between my team and his, doesn't really do it much justice, because maybe some Pokemon have a better matchup than others. Razorrclawww has 12 Pokemon, and to me, I feel like any combination of those 12 can easily come in this matchup. Secondly, though, it also comes down to the person. And while the person, like I said, is unorthodox, that really plays to his strengths. And by that, I mean, he's not willing to let standard sets be the norm. He's not going to use standard... Like, he can use standard sets, but he'll make it look flashy. He'll make it unexpected. That's the one thing about Razorrclawww that I respect, and I really appreciate his building and thought process when it comes to putting teams together. It basically just comes down to composition and making out of nowhere sets work. And for that reason alone, I'm forced to build a team that forces me to be more reactive than I want to, as opposed to being proactive. With that being said, though, I still feel like the matchup is still winnable, but it's going to be a very close game, I feel, considering the Mons I'm bringing, what potential 6 Mons he could bring, and I tried my best to account for any combination of 12. Granted, there are some stuff here that I really don't feel comfortable about. First off, mainly is Rain. While Politoed itself doesn't really have the best of matchups, the fact that it can set up Rain for Golduck, and Golduck by itself, with some support, can decimate my entire team. It outspeeds my entire draft under Rain, and even if I wanted to bring some sort of bulky, special defensive Manaphy, it can be overwhelmed by other Pokemon, because he also picked up Sandy Shocks, which I also played last week when Will had it, but then Will dropped it, and then Razorrclawww picked it up, so now I'm facing Shocks again for the second week in a row, which is annoying. However, though, there's also other Pokemon, stuff like Cinderace I have to deal with. It's a very good offensive pivot and offensive attacker in general, so I have to account for that. I have to account for Rain, I have to account for Chestnut, and even stuff like Snorlax, Hydreigon, and the most devastating Pokemon to my draft, and I'm not joking when I say this, I feel like the team I built gets destroyed by Terra Trick Room Trevenant. And I am not joking when I say this. And I mean that, again, with the utmost of respect. But if I see Trevenant on Razor's side, I'm going to be in a world of hurt. So I just got to hope and pray that my outs are still alive if I have to deal with that thing. But in any case, looking at the matchup itself, I do apologize for the team competition being a bit missing some Pokemon. The image you're missing from my side, obviously, is Overpawn Teal Mask, and the image missing from Razorrclawww's team is Fezandipiti. Fezandipiti is another one of those new Pokemon that I can't really account for. Like, its dual stab is manageable with my team, but because, again, it's Razorrclawww, that means nothing in the sense of the matchup and whatnot. He's probably going to bring some out of control set that I can't deal with, or I'm not going to expect. So again, the matchup premise for this builder is to basically build a team that can react to any combination of 6 Pokemon he can bring, and try my best to play around those mons. So, with that out of the way, let's just get into the team that I ended up building for this week. So first off, you see on your screen is my, once again, we're bulk up Annihilate. The only difference, I have Taunt over Rest from last week, and I also forgot to mention his Terra Captains. Pincurchin can terrestrialize into either an Electric, Fairy, or Flying type, and Trevenant can terrestrialize into either a Ghost, Fairy, or Rock type. So yeah, but like I said, I more or less, if he brings any of his Terra Captains, I'm expecting it to be Terra Trevenant as opposed to Pincurchin, though I did have some minor instances of thinking of he could bring like a Terra Flying Lightning Rod Pincurchin, but that seems like a bit of overkill just to try to prevent my Killer Watcho from Volt Switching when I can just U-turn. But anyway, back to the team. We have Annihilate here, very straightforward Punching Glove set with Bulk Up, Taunt, Drain Punch, and Rage Fist. I wanted to keep it as simplistic as possible because I didn't want to overclock my brain when it came to putting this team together. The role of Annihilate is to just take special hits as best as I possibly can, so stuff like Hydreigon can't knock me out. If he's Calm Mind Fezandipiti, Moonblast doesn't kill me unless he has a multitude of boosts. And even stuff like Scald from Politoed, unless he like crits me or whatever, this also gives me a means of dealing with standy shocks as opposed to resorting mainly on ting-lu. But yeah, this is a very straightforward set with enough speed to guarantee outspeed a timid max speed Politoed, max my HP, and the rest is put into Spadef. Then we have, once again, our Assault Vest ting-lu. The only difference between last week and this week, I believe, is just me having Throat Chop over Payback and Body Press over Heavy Slam. This just gives me a means of... Body Press just gives me a way of guarantee hitting the Hydreigon super effectively, and Throat Chop is here for Payback to ensure I have a way of guaranteeing do more damage to Bronzong, since Payback won't do much damage to it because Bronzong is slower than ting-lu. And then Ruination is here to chip down stuff like Chestnut. The main thing is Chestnut and stuff like Bronzong as well, since I can't Earthquake that because of Levitate. The EV spread is just basically, it just gives me the best way of taking hits from stuff like his Tornadus, as Tornadus cannot 2-KO me with Grass Knot or Focus Blast unless he has a nasty plot up. And then 88 defense lets me guarantee 2-KO a no bulk Hydreigon with Body Press. And then I just put the rest into attack to let me do a bit more damage with Earthquake and Throat Chop, and then of course I just put the rest into HP since I maximized my Spadef already, so I can take those hits better from stuff like the Shandy Shocks for the most part. Then we have my Tail Glow 3 attacks Manaphy with Leftovers. This is just again my way of just trying to be a catch-all to any combination of Pokemon, whether it just be whether it be Rain with Politoed and Golduck, whether it be Ice Beam to hit the Hydreigon, Ice Beam to hit the Chestnut, and Scald essentially hits everything else. Ideally, I would not want to run Energy Ball, but because, again, if the person does bring the Rain and I don't have Energy Ball, I don't want to rely solely on Ogerpon, because Ogerpon, while it can get rid of Politoed, it can't get rid of Golduck if Rain is up, which is the biggest problem to this team. Other than that, though, this is my way of just trying to check as many threats as possible with my Manaphy between Cinderace, between stuff like Snorlax. I can potentially Skull Burn that thing and hope that he doesn't have Facade on it. Skull Burn, Fezandipiti if it's maybe offensive, like physically offensive with it, that sort of thing. But yeah, this gives me the best way of just trying to catch as many Pokemon as I can off guard from his team and just try to react as best as I possibly can. I don't need to invest in special attack investment because I'm going to be boosting my special attack with Tail Glow anyway. And after a Tail Glow, I can OHKO stuff like Hydreigon with Ice Beam if it's not Yachi Berry. I can deal with the Rain with Energy Ball. Then the Rain helps me out since with Hydration. I don't have to worry about status condition that much. And then, of course, Leftovers is there for some passive recovery as I'm not bringing removal in my Swanna. And I just decided to max out my bulk just to ensure that stuff like Cinderace, any other physical attackers that didn't get too out of hand, since I feel pretty comfortable already on the special side with my ting-lu. Then we have a very straightforward heavy-duty boots. Sorry about that. Heavy-duty boots Overcon, very straightforward set. It's basically the same exact set I brought the first time in week 1. Ivy Cudgel is there to hit stuff like the Polytoad super effectively. This is my way of offensively checking Sandy's shocks. Knock off to get rid of heavy-duty boots from my Tornadus if he brings it in on Ogerpon. And just to rack up that damage. U-turn for momentum, and then of course spikes to rack up residual chip damage if I can help it. Very straightforward set with my Ogerpon. Max attack, enough speed to guarantee outspeed his... So lets me guarantee outspeed his Sandy shocks, and the rest I just threw into special defense to take those hits better from stuff like the Sandy shocks if possible. Then for the first time all season I am bringing my Tinkaton, which is a very straightforward Stealth Rock 3 attack set. This is my Hydreigon check, in quotation marks. It's also just giving me a means of being able to also give me a way of somewhat checking Fezandipiti, as I do resist the dual stab. And I'm opting for Heavy Slam over Gigaton Hammer just so as a means of having a more reliable steel move to click as opposed to playing Gigaton Hammer. And with the attack investment I have in the Tinkaton, Heavy Slam will always 2-hit KO max HP Fezandipiti. And then of course Play Rough is there for the Hydreigon, knock off to get rid of items like from Bronzong or whatever. And it's my best move to hit Bronzong with, unfortunately. Especially considering I'm not running SD. And then of course this is also my Stealth Rocker to get residual chip on his team. This also hits the same speed as my Annihilate, just being able to outspeed a timid max speed Polytoad, and then I put the maxed out my HP just to give Tinkaton some needed bulk. And then lastly, for the first time, I'm also bringing my Kilowattrel, which might be a bit of a iffy situation just because of the fact that he does have a Sandy shocks, but I do like having the ability of having something faster than Cinderace on this build, and it also gives me a main way of ensuring that I have a more offensive way of checking Tornadus as opposed to constantly going into ting-lu to go for to take those hurricanes and whatnot, especially considering that Grass Knot is a viable option for the Torn to bring. So Kilowattrel is basically here to be that offensive check, be that pivot, and of course it does have the means of being a bit of an annoyance with Discharge and Hurricane. I don't really care that much for hitting Sandy Shocks super effectively because this set isn't designed to ever beat Sandy Shocks. I have U-turn here for momentum. It lets me guarantee get momentum on Sandy Shocks. I had Weather Ball for a bit there just in case he brought Rain. So I could Weather Ball, hit Sandy Shocks for the super effective 100 base power water type move. But I felt that was a bit of overkill, especially considering that Weather Ball is oddly specifically only there for shocks. And I felt that was a bit too much to try to prep for, especially on a Pokemon that it can't really beat 1v1 anyway. And with that, and then the rest of this roots for the longevity. Speed is for Cinderace. I have some HP investment to like take hits better from stuff like Tornadus, and then the rest I threw in special attack because like I don't really kill anything with max special attack. Like I could potentially kill knockout Tornadus with Thunderbolt, but it's a roll, unfortunately, and I figured I'm not gonna try to go for the roll. I figured the paralysis support with Discharge would more benefit the extra damage output from Thunderbolt, as having additional speed control is nice to have for my team. And it also gives me a way of offensively checking stuff like Chestnut, because Chestnut is also a big threat to this team because, like, while I have Pokemon that can deal with Chestnut, I want something that can outright kill it if I can help it. But yeah, that's the team I ended up building for this week. Apologies that this did go a bit longer than I anticipated, but for the most part, I also just wanted to explain my thought process as best as I could. I respect Razorrclawww a lot as a builder and a battler, and I've battled him enough times to know how he functions and operates, as I said, but it's really hard to gauge what 6 I'm going to be building for or what he's going to be bringing. So I want to try to prep for everything, and hopefully we come out on top and go to 3-0 on the season. So with that out of the way, that's the team builder, and for that, let's head on over to the battle. Alright guys, here we are with our week 3 battle for the PPL Flare Division, taking on Razorrclawww and his Galaxy Brain Golisopods. This team is kind of more or less what I was expecting, a little unorthodox. He didn't bring Cinderace, which is fine for him, which is good for me actually. And he brought the Trevenant. No. Yeah, if there's one thing I was really contemplating when I put this team together, that my team is like so weak to Trevenant if it's Trick Room, Terra Rock. Chestnut's probably either, if Chestnut's not Spikes, it's probably going to be like some sub belly drum set. In terms of a lead though, I think my safest lead would probably just be leading off with Kilowattrel. Like the only bad lead is if he leads off with Shocks. But I think overall, I think that's my safest lead. I'm not the most confident in this team, but I feel like given the circumstances and how unorthodox Razor builds and plays, not really plays, but his building process is every Pokemon is a viable thing for him to bring in his eyes. Yeah, it's gonna be a rough one, but hey, good luck, have fun as always to Razorrclawww. I really respect this dude. He's an awesome dude, awesome guy. We do see Chestnut lead, so I'm really happy about that. That I did get the chess play correct. Now then, I am no bitch. I do have Hurricane on this. I will live and die by this move as if this thing is as a Tornadus. I don't expect him to stay in. So let's just go straight for the Hurricane. Yep, switch out into your Sandy Shocks. Or Bronzong. Yeah, Sandy Shocks is always the good bring. No, we hit Hurricane. Alright, that's actually good that we hit so early on. And we're just going to U-turn out into our ting-lu here. Or better yet, I think the play is actually U-turn out into our... I think U-turning out into Ogerpon is actually the better play here. Yeah, Ogerpon feels a bit safer. And we see Rocky Helmet. Okay. So this is probably his Annihilate. This is like defensive. So I feel a lot more comfortable with that being the case. So now I'm definitely going to go out into my Ogerpon. The only downside to this is if he goes for Discharge. Okay, Spikes up. Alright, so we see Spikes on this, which means that the Chestnut is definitely going to be a more offensive set, like Belly Drum. Like I can see some Belly Drum shenanigans going on here. I don't think he stays in here. Like I could easily go for Ivy Cudgel and knock him out. And his dual set is nothing to me. So I am going to knock off predicting him to go out into either his Torn or his Chestnut. Yeah, there's the withdraw. Do we see Chestnut or Torn? We do see Tornadus. I'm okay with getting rid of these boots. So we're going to knock off here. Yep, there goes the boots. Excellent. Now we're going to go back out into... let's go back into Kilowattrel. And the other reason why I'm making this play is I do have some bulk on this Kilowattrel. I don't want my ting-lu getting worn down so easily. And this lets me keep up some sort of offensive pressure against Razorrclawww's team. The downside to me doing this though is I'm making myself a little bit weaker to Chestnut if it is the offensive set that I'm expecting. Like Sub-Salic, Belly Drum Chestnut is really, really good. And we see a very fine U-turn play. So he's going to go back into, I believe he's going to go back into Shocks here to get up another area of Spikes. Which I'm okay with if he does make that play. Another option is probably Bronzong if he's feeling risky. But the Bronzong could be Trick Room as well. So I'm a bit hesitant to actually consider any opposite sort of set that he has. Like it could be Rocks Bronzong, he could be dual hazards Shocks as well. Like Spike Stealth Rock and then just like Earth Power and Discharge or whatever. But yeah, getting the damage off on Torn is really helpful. Getting rid of the sort of the ground resist. He does have the chestnut he can go out into, but I do have ruination on the ting-lu just in case. Yep, we do see bronze on this time, so I'm okay with that. I definitely don't want to do anything crazy here. I imagine he's gonna go for either an ice spinner or the stealth rock. I could go out into Annihilate here on the Bronzong, and a part of me kind of wants to make that play, but the problem is Annihilate just brings in the Fezandipiti. So instead, I'm going to let's go back out into Ogerpon. I feel like, what does Ogerpon do? Ogerpon helps against shocks. Mainly is for shocks. I have ting-lu as well as a backup response. And Annihilate can still Drain Punch and whatnot. So yeah, King Char is the play. Try to keep up some... Actually, no, I shouldn't have made that play. Because if he Ice Spirits, that's bad for me. Yeah. I could have went Annihilate. Why'd that do so much? Is he like Choice Band or something? Yeah, I should have went Annihilate, but that's fine. I'm gonna U-turn. Yeah, that was not a good play. Annihilate covered Stealth Rock and Ice Spinner. And I would have had 100 base power Rage Fist on top of that too. So yeah, that was a really bad play. But that did so much damage. This is like offensive. Is it like Choice Band? I'm not entirely sure now. Like, I want to say it's banned, but I have no information that lets me, that gives me any information as regard to that. The other crazy play is if he, I was about to say, if he made a play and, like, doubled into shocks on my U-turn. Yeah. It could have also been Coldberry. It could probably have been offensive Coldberry. Yeah, we'll make the Annihilate play here. Yeah, it sucks because I gave up HP on my Ogerpon for no actual reason. Saying Ice Spinners again. That feels like banded. That feels like banded damage. That's doing so much for non-stab Ice Spinner. I feel like that's Choice Band. But in any case, I'm just gonna Rage Fist. He could be Kasibberry as well. But I feel like that's doing way too much to be a Resist Berry. I feel like this is Choice Band. I'm assuming he's switching to shocks. I also have to be very careful with the... Again, it comes down to the double grass core as well. Like, I don't want to do anything crazy. So he's really thinking about his play now. He's not. Okay, he's not the Synth Berry. This is not going to hurt down it. Oh, it did. Okay, perfect. Alright, so Bronzong is down. Perfect, perfect, perfect. So Annihilate places the first kill of the game. I guess he was like determining what my play was going to be. But now he gets the free switch into Torn. So yeah, Annihilate gets the kill. So I'm imagining Torn's going to come out now and probably go for another U-turn. Because in all honesty, I shouldn't be staying in. An alternative play, he could also go into Fezandipiti. I also feel really comfortable now with Bronzong out the way. My Tinkaton is now amazing. Like, I don't have to worry about like my dual stab being resisted by anything. So yeah, if he goes Fezandipiti, I'm gonna go directly into my Tinkaton. If he goes into shocks, I think I stay in and Drain Punch. So yeah, I feel like he has two. He has the main. He has like 3 options on his team now, like Fezandipiti, Shocks, or Torn. It's Fezandipiti. Okay. All right, that's fine. I'm not messing around with this Pokemon. I'm going to go directly out into my Tinkaton, and we are going to go for. I don't know what to go for afterwards, but let me see what this thing wants to go for. So, in comes Tinkaton. Take the spikes. U-turn. Okay, play off. It's Life Orb, and my Tinkaton is phasing through the ground. Why is half her body in the ground? Why is she trembling? I feel like she's going to get shot through the gun. Why is my Tinkaton halfway in the ground? Yo, this is the saddest crap, man. I'm going for I could Heavy Slam into a KO this thing, but he shouldn't stay in. He's probably gonna go out into Shocks here, so I'm gonna get up Stealth Rock. Like, I feel like he keeps this around for the Night Light, exactly. So let's see, do we see the Shocks come back in? Yep. So, free Stealth Rock. I really wish I didn't go out into my Overpond on that Bronze Zone right now, or else I would have gone out into it now. I do have a Ting-lu, so I'm not that concerned, but I was trying to keep this thing healthy for like, what do I need it healthy for now? Now that I think about it. It becomes setup fodder for the doggone Chestnut, though. That's the only problem. So let's see if I could, let's see if my Ting-lu's gonna be facing through the ground this time. Okay, it's not. That's cool. Let me see more spikes get up. Yeah, more spikes makes sense. Like, I'm not gonna bother knocking off its Rocky Helmet. Like, there's no point. I feel like clicking Earthquake. Sorry. There's also 2 things he could do here. He's either going to go out into Chestnut on the Earthquake, or he's going to go into Torn. I think the safest play for me is to double into my Kilowattrel here. So let's do that. I'll double into Kilowattrel. Expecting him to go into Chestnut or Torn. Yep, there's a Chestnut. Perfect. Alright, so really glad I made that play. He's not Boots, so that's good that's a good thing to take information about, that he's not Boots Chestnut. So, back up comes Kilowattrel. I feel like we make the same play again, right? He's definitely not going to want to stay in. I want to try to see if I can get damage off on Shocks. I also could have also, if I was real, I could have tripled into Overpond expecting the Shocks to come back out. But, nah, I'm not going to make that play. I'm really not going to make that play. Yeah, he doesn't want to draw. He's going to go back into Shocks now. Like, I don't really have anything to stop him from doing that. Like I said earlier, I could have tripled into Overpond there, expecting the Shocks to come back out. Like, we hit another Hurricane, so that's great. I'm going to get the Confusion on top of that. So yeah. Let me just check. How many layers? Did he have all 3 layers of spikes against me, or 2? He has 2. Alright, so what I'm going to do is, I'm actually going to try to go for it. I'm going to try to go for the 3rd Hurricane. For the, I'm due for a miss at some point, but this is really, really good. It's essentially good for my Manaphy. Because right now he's losing like all of his faster options to my Manaphy. They're getting chipped. Ideally, I hit Hurricane here, knock this thing out. He's forced to go out into like Trevenant. And we hit 3 Hurricanes. Hey, who needs Terra? Kilowattrel knocking out Sandy Shocks. Let's go. That one was for Uzi. That right there, that was for Uzi. It went for Hurricane 3 times and it hit all 3. Good job. Good job, Yuffie. Or Sheetan in my case. So what's his play now? I feel like his play is going out into Trevenant. The problem is... No, I actually do have follow-up. If he goes Trevenant, I'm going to U-turn into Tinkaton. Not to say that Tinkaton's not useless, but... Because it also helps against Torn. But Torn doesn't have boots anymore. And on top of that, it doesn't have... as long as I keep... Oh, he went with Fezandipiti instead. Alright, that's fine. So... Here's the next question. Do I know this is Life Orb. If I'm able to get in on... Yeah, Rage Fist is so free now with my Annihilate too. It's Life Orb, it's not faster than me, so I'm going to try to get some more chip off. I'm going to U-turn into... What do I U-turn out into? I think what I have to do, I have to U-turn into Ogerpon and sack it. I think I have to sack Ogerpon now. Because I don't want Tinkaton to take any unnecessary damage for no reason. So yeah, let's go out into... Let's sack Ogerpon, as much as I didn't want to do it, but it's fine. And if he U-turns, that's his momentum for me. He SD'd. Wow! I mean, that's fine. I don't do anything to this. Maybe I get like a crit or something. It's not 4 times resisted, but Ivy Cudgel has a chance to crit. And damage on this means I can put it into, potentially get into discharge range. Yeah, he expected me to go out into Tinkaton there for sure. Because Play Rough doesn't knock it out from the range of HP it's at. Like I said, Razor is unpredictable. Quick Attack, Fezandipiti. Alright, I was sacking Ogerpon anyway, so it's fine. Alright, let's go out into... Let's go out into Tinkaton. So we see SD Play Rough Quick Attack. I'm assuming his fourth move is a poison move. And let's just slam. Oh! Okay! It's Technician Double Kick. Alright, that gives me... So alright, now I know it's full set. So SD, Play Rough, Double Kick, Quick Attack. And it's Technician. Okay. I need to put it into Manaphy range. Does +2 Quick Attack Technician Quick Attack knock out Kilowattrel? I want to say no, actually. Double kick knocks out ting-lu. Yeah, I don't kill with Manaphy from the range of HP I'm at. I'm making myself a little bit more difficult to deal with the with Torn. Wait, this was a really good set. Yeah, Technician quick attack. It shouldn't kill me. I'm a discharge. Yeah, like I said, Razorrclawww is one of the most unorthodox people I know. I never would have expected him to be SD quick attack. It killed. Damn! Shit. Okay, I didn't expect it to kill. I didn't do any. I didn't. Yeah, I have to go. I have no choice but to go Manaphy. Oh man, what a great set, man. What a great set. I have to hope for like a Scarlet burn here. Oh, I never. Yeah, okay. Yeah, I have to Scarlet burn here because it definitely doesn't kill. Ideally, he's going to go for a quick attack. Let me see. Yeah, I think if this dies, I'm gonna lose to Torn. Yeah, that was a really good SD on my U-turn. I'm not even mad. I am really not even mad. He's probably counting to see if +2 play rough kills. He's gonna withdraw actually. Into Trevenant, okay. It's Frisk, so it's not Natural Cure. That was a crit. That sucks about crit burn. God damn. That is like the worst possible situation for him right now. That sucks so bad. That sucks so bad for him. Now I just tail glow. Yeah, that... I understand his thought process though. Because this was the Manaphy switching. This was the Manaphy check. Oh man. I think he would have had it if he stayed in. I don't think Skull would have killed. Oh, that sucks. That is huge. And the fact that he's not a Natural Cure, that crit burn hurts even more. So he's gonna go into Torn, I'm assuming. Yeah. He had to. The fact that he brought this out makes me think one particular thing. I think he's gonna go for Tailwind. He's gonna go for Tailwind, to sack Torn. No, I'm not gonna make that play. I'm gonna go with ting-lu. He's most likely Tailwind. He wants to Tailwind to get in Chestnut and set up. Exactly. Yep. I know your thought process, man. I know your thought process. And Tailwind's up for 4 turns, right? Yep. I don't have to do anything. I ruination here. This is 100% deliberate. Because if he stays in to get damage off on me, yeah, I'm okay with that. You turn out into Chestnut. It also banks on me if I hit my what's it called? Ruination. I missed twice last week, and I want to avoid that happening again. He should go Chestnut here. If I hit Ruination, I can prevent him from belly drumming. The alternate play is he could also go into Fezandipiti. But would he risk me going for, like, Heavy Slam or whatever? I feel like he's going to go Chestnut. Yeah, I knew what the taunt was. I knew that taunt was Tailwind. And I was debating Fezandipiti or Chess. Yep, it's Chess. Okay. So as long as I hit Ruination, please. Thank you. So now he can't belly drum. Now he can't belly drum. Ruination again. Yeah, that's fine. That is fine by me. Yeah, I need my win con's Manaphy. I go Annihilate. I click. Do I click Rain? Do I click Rage Fist or Drain Punch? He puts himself in overgrow range, so whatever he clicks, he's definitely going to kill. All right, there's one more turn of Tailwind. So no matter what I'm sacking this. Yeah, let's just. Yeah, it doesn't matter what HP I recover back. So yeah, Chestnut's going to kill me with Woodhammer. Tailwind's going to end. Or... Oh, okay, so he sacks the Torn to get into Fezandipiti. Okay, so Torn dies. So I have to kill for Tinkerton. I'm okay with that. Yeah, Tailwind petered out, so my Manaphy's faster again. Yeah, Fezandipiti's going to pick up its free kill. I mean, he goes for Play Rough here, knocks me out. So 4 kills for Fezandipiti, Annihilate goes down. And now it just comes down to... It comes down to Manaphy. I click Scald. I'm faster than this. And then what? Chestnut dies to Ice Beam. Oh, no it doesn't. Oh, I just thought of something else stupid. Oh, I think I know why he saved the Chestnut. It lived! And I burned it! Oh, I think I'm gonna lose. Oh, I lose. Alright, Fezandipiti dies to Life Orb. If he goes Chestnut, that means he's cussed that berry. Oh, no. He's cussed that berry. He's custberry chestnut. Yup. Fuck. GG, man. Real good game. Freaking hell. Good stuff, Razor. Oh, it's Scarf! It didn't even matter. Fucking hell, man. I'm not even mad. That's a 2-0 loss. Oh, it's a 1-0. Because Chestnut died to recoil. I knew it. Oh, he was either Custap or Scarf. Damn. Alright, now I don't feel so bad about the Trevenant being burnt, man. Nah, this was a game I can take pride in losing, because I knew Razorclaw was gonna bring some crazy stuff, and it worked. Scarf Chestnut and SD Technician double kick quick attack Fezandipiti, putting in work for him. Not even mad. I'm just happy I got to play this game. I think the main misplay on my end was letting Ogrepon take that Ice Spinner from the Bronzong, which I think was banded. Yeah, like I knew that endgame was gonna be so awkward, man. Like I felt so bad when I burnt. If I killed, no, it didn't even matter. If I killed the Fezandipiti, the same thing would have happened. Oh man, I'm not even mad. This was a fantastic game. I knew Razorclaw was gonna bring some unorthodox shit, and it worked again for him, man. It's always grass types with him too. If it's not Articuno, it's low tier grass types that gets me. I'm honestly not even mad. I can take pride knowing I played to the best of my abilities, and I cannot say that I am pissed about losing this game. I only lost 1-0, but I can take pride in knowing I brought it back the way I did. Cause that Fezandipiti, if he stayed in, he would have won. He would have 6-0'd me with that thing. I was so freaking scared of the Trevenant. I gotta see what that Trevenant set was. I'm not even mad. Again, this was a great game. Granted, it was a 1-0. I only killed half his team. He killed 2 of his Pokemon himself. This was a fantastic game, and I hope you guys enjoy it. Please, with the utmost of respect, check out Razorclaw's side of the battle. This man is so good at making good unorthodox teams and unorthodox sets work. Never would have considered Scarf Chestnut in a million years. But, whatever the case may be, it is what it is. It's a 1-0 loss, but it's a loss I can take 110% pride in the fact that I did my best to bring it back. And that's all that matters, bro. That's all that matters to me. This was a great ass game. I'm not even mad I lost. Razorclaw, it is always a pleasure to face you, my guy. 110%, you are incredible. Please go check him out in the description below, guys. Check out all the other coaches taking part in the PPL Bolt and Flare Division. This was a banger of a game. Unbelievable banger of a game. I was not confident with this team, but regardless, the fact that it was a 1-0 and the fact that it ended like that, bro, I could not ask for anything better from an opponent and a guy that I know, that like Razorclaw. That dude is incredible. I'm glad to know I got him I know him as a friend. GG as always to my friend Razorclaw. So great to play you as always. And that's gonna be it from me, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed this battle, because I sure as hell did playing through it. And we are 2-1, but we can always bounce back next time. Yeah, that's gonna be it from me again. Hope you guys enjoyed the battle. And until the next time, this is Tone signing out for now. Peace out. Alright, so remember when I said the video was over? Okay, I sort of lied about that. I figured, since Joey's not the only one who could pull this type of crap off, I am here with my Week 3 opponent and one of my good friends in the Draft League community, the one and only Razorclaw himself. You can say hi.
Yo, what's up? Glad to be here.
So, yeah, like I said in my Teambuilder, I'm not gonna lie, man. I said you were probably the most unorthodox person I've ever built and bowed against, and once again, Scarf Chestnut, and more importantly,
yes,
the freaking SD Technician Fezandipiti. Like, what exactly went through? What was your thought process? Because literally, when I was looking at your team, I felt like anything could have been brought. Even the rain that you said yourself wasn't going to be like the best in this matchup. You said.
Well, with the rain and stuff, like Politoed without a scarf felt really terrible, and giving rain to Kilowattrel and Manaphy just felt really bad as well. And the fact that Golduck just couldn't touch Manaphy at all just really turned me off using Golduck in this matchup. Though I did really consider I banded Aqua Jet just for Cleaver, because I felt like Agility Cleaver just absolutely destroyed everything in the end game, so I had to be very careful of it. And honestly, I wasn't too sure on how I was going to deal with it. I was just going to, I guess, sack Torn to get up a Tailwind or have something, have enough health to deal with it. With the Fezandipiti, though, a lot of your team is more special defensive than defensive, and when I was looking at it, I was thinking of Carmine and like Nasty Pot, but I was like, it's one slower than Manaphy, and I would lose that. I'd lose that fight if I Carmine and you start tail glowing. I'd get fucked immediately. So I was like, you know what? Your team is highly like specially defensive. If I SD and just get up some hazards and stuff, Quick Attack actually with the Technician boost starts to do a lot of damage. Like it does 70 to 80 to like just offensive Gardevoir to Kilowattrel to Ogerpon. Manaphy takes less. I think it's like 50, 60. I'm faster than Annihilate and I can one-shot that. It's also a nice priority if I need to kill Cleaver in a pinch. I can kill Ting-Lu if it's not max defense. I can kill Dragogi. And Tinkaton does not appreciate a double kick. It does like 60 or 70. I was debating a lot between Adamant and Jolly to be faster than Tinkaton or to predict you to be a slower Tinkaton so I could go Adamant. Same with, because I believe I outpaced, I think it was Cleaver or Annihilate, one of them. And I really like that extra damage because I believe it's put Kilowattrel in range after one Rocky Helmet use. Assuming you were 40 HP, because I thought you were. I kind of thought you would account for the Scarf Chestnut, but you didn't. I was actually faster with it.
I was actually contemplating a little bit. I wasn't thinking about Scarf Chestnut immediately. Like I was thinking about Belly Drum, like sub Belly Drum Chestnut, because like that and like even in the builder, like even like Trick Room Trevenant, like even when I was building this team and finalized it, I was like, if he's Trick Room Trevenant and he's like Dual Stab, Terra Rock Slide or some nonsense like that, I just auto lose to that. And then the Manaphy got the burn on the Trevenant, and then I saw you were Frisk. I'm like, oh, that's what's going to happen. You were just checking to see that I wasn't Rindo Berry on my Manaphy, which I probably could have been, but I felt like I had enough outs to Chestnut to like not let the let Scarf Chestnut go off. Like I even like how you had Leaf Storm on your Chestnut in case I was Acid Armor on my Manaphy, so you had a
yeah. Like, yeah, I was scared of Manaphy on both sides, Carmite and Acid Armor, so I put on Leaf Storm, which I think does like 60 or 70 to an Acid Armor set. And I made Sandy Shock's physical because it dealt with, like I said, your team's very specially defensive, so I actually did more damage to shit like Tinkaton, Annihilate, Gardevoir, Ting-Lu, and Dragogi. But it also gave me like an out on Carmine Manaphy. So if you thought you could start Carmining up and beat me that way, if, I don't know, something would have happened to Chestnut. So I like that as well. I was kind of forced to run Power Gem because, like, if I didn't, I'd be a Sandy Shocks that doesn't deal with Kilowattrel, which would be stupid.
I thought it had to have like something in some way, shape, or form. I felt like you had enough out. Like a lot of stuff that you brought. Like even like when I went hard into my Ogerpon on the bronze ring and I saw Ice Spinner do like 75. I was like, what the hell is going on? I'm like, wait a minute. I'm like, wait, that's too much? That's so much for offense. I'm like, is he Bandit? And then I went to my Annihilate. I did no calc during the battle, and then I saw my Annihilate take like 30% from Ice Spinner. I'm like, what the hell is going on? Is he really Choice Bandit? It's like, oh fuck, he was.
I was so convinced that Annihilate was offensive Scarf for like the start of that game for quite a while, until you just didn't come into it to revenge Fezandipiti. I'm like, okay, so it has to not be Scarf, because you would have done that ages ago. There's no way this man just bluffed killing like everything just to, I don't know,
I mean, I only got
force me out with Manaphy. I could have just stayed in.
I only got one kill with that thing. I think also, technically speaking, you probably could have won a little bit with a higher differential too, as opposed to the 1-0. But like, I guess you were like,
I probably could have.
Like at the end there, you were like, is he really Scar Finale this entire time? And you let me sack his thing for no actual reason. I'm like, oh, that could potentially be a thing. But then, yeah, I didn't really account for like the Scarf Chestnut. I figured like the Torn was like Tailwind. Like the Tailwind thing made sense just to ensure that if I was Scarf, you outsped it. I think the other thing though is, like I was saying earlier, like during the battle, like I think the one misplay was letting Ogerpon take that Bronzong kit, because I probably would have kept it around for the Chestnut at the very least. Like if I was able to like knock off the Scarf, then I probably would have had a better chance of winning. But there was no way in like in a late game situation you would like let me knock your choice Scarf off.
Oh no way. I had to keep that choice Scarf on it. Chestnut was like by far the most important. Also, I swapped out on Fezandipiti on Manaphy because I count max attack, not modest, but like that would kill me with Scald. So I was like, oh, I'll just go Trevenant because like it's pretty useless. And then I was like, oh shit, if I get burned into an acid armor, I'm fucked. And then I got crit burned. I'm like, alright, I need to go into Taunt immediately.
Yeah, I
just
figured,
pressure this thing.
Yeah, I figured the play was you going into Torn. I was like, is he really Tailwind on this thing? He wouldn't go hard into it otherwise. I'm like, oh yeah, he was. Like I had to do like some crazy. I had, like that end game really at the end there was so messed up where I had to like when I went ting-lu on the Tailwind, I was like, no, I have to burn these Tailwind turns because if I don't get the Tailwind away, your Chestnut's gonna be faster regardless. Because I didn't know at that point if you were Scarf or not on your Chestnut. So I'm like, if you were just relying solely on Tailwind, I'm like, okay, I can. If a Tailwind peers out, I win with my Manaphy because you were definitely in range of dying to Ice Beam or whatever. And Trevenant,
100%.
And Trevenant was already burnt at that point, so you weren't able to kill me with Horn Leech. I felt like that was like the saddest thing when the Trevenant got burnt and you weren't natural cure. Like,
yeah. Oh man, I was debating between Frisk and natural cure. I'm like, I want to see the items, but I don't. I want to swap into Manaphy and not get burned by Scald. Yeah, but I want to see the items. It's like,
yeah, I think if anything, the Manaphy item was the most important on my team, just to ensure that your the Chestnut wasn't going to like Woodhammer and I live and you died for no actual reason.
Yeah.
But yeah, I was the other thing I didn't even really consider Scarf because like I said, you build so in such a different way as opposed to other people. Like I don't have a specific game plan. It's just like try to play forever, try to react to anything you bring and. Unfortunately, I did not react to everything because you brought 5 physical Pokemon and a Torn, so it was like
basically
it was basically like I prep for like Calm Mind. I had like Heavy Slam on my Tinkaton, so like because like you could easily go into like your Bronzong or your your Sandy Shocks on the Gigaton Hammer and like. Forced me to like not click it again. So yeah, I was like, I need a more spammable steel move, and unfortunately the best I had was Heavy Slam, so I had to do that. I had extra bulk on Kilowattrel for Torns, that way if you were like Grass Knot Nasty Plot Torn, then I got 2 a KO with my ting-lu, so I couldn't risk that. So and other than that though, like, and even the Annihilate set, I wasn't really settled. I figured Bulk Up would be the most prominent set. Like, Scarf never really crossed my mind, but at the same time I was thinking about what you could bring. And realistically speaking, there wasn't really anything you brought that I could reliably bulk up on because of like there was like no real situation for me to like get a bulk up off because you brought Choice Banded Bronzong, you brought Scarf Chestnut. I would never be able to bulk up and like maintain any sort of offensive momentum versus your team, and then you still had to Torn in the back to like Bleak Windstorm and always revenge kill me.
Yeah.
Like ideally I could have brought Scarf because like you would have to keep like Shocks healthy in the back to like get me with like Rocky Helmet Chip, and then you wear me down with like if you're able to get like a Trick Room off, and I never got to burn the Trevenant, but yeah, it was just like a bunch of like situational stuff. Like, I had to do like all these doubles around. Like, I wanted your chestnut gone. Like, I had to like double out of your chestnut, get back in Kilowattrel. I'm like, okay, I got rid of the shocks at least, but the chestnut's the biggest issue. Like, you brought both of your grass types. I'm like, shoot, I can deal with one, but I can't deal with the other.
Yeah, I was fucking terrified of Manaphy. Trevenant might have been. Well, honestly, Trevenant was like the first one I put on this team because I was like, Trick Room, Weakness Velocity, Poltergeist, Swarm Leech, and Sucker Punch. I was like, oh my god, that like kills everything so easily. But I mean, in like actual practice, it was so hard getting off a Trick Room. I guess how I played it, and honestly, just having something else for Scarf and Annihilate would have made me a lot more secure in my mind. Like perhaps if I was just Cinderace, because that also would have helped with Cleavor. If you weren't Scarf, I could turn into a fighting type and resist your stabs and shit like that. That probably would have been better.
I did like contemplate a little bit about Scarf Cleavor, but I was more concerned with like, oh, that would give you more of an incentive to preserve your Bronzong, and then even to add insult to injury, it turns out your doggone Bronzong was heat proof over Levitate. Because I was never hooking Earthquake against that thing.
Yeah, exactly. What on your... Sorry.
Yeah, go ahead.
What on your team even gets Earthquake outside like Ting-lu? And Cleavor wasn't really going to run it. It'll probably be Night Slash. Yeah, so I was like, I'm definitely going heat proof.
Yeah, I guess it was like even like a fail safe if I did end up bringing like Pyro or whatever. Because you like, I guess it was also your fire resist to be perfectly honest, because you didn't bring your rain. And I was even like even stuff like the Cinderace, like not seeing Cinderace was one thing. I was like, I didn't want to initially bring Kilowattrel, but at the same time I was like, I wanted something faster than Cinderace that could also check Torn, and this was like the only thing that was like checking the boxes for like everything. And then when I saw it was Cinderace, I was like, man, this is a much different team than I anticipated. And then I'm also like considering, if he's like Salic, if he's Belly Drum sub Salic Chestnut, is my Kilowattrel faster? Nope, it's not. I'm just here like, wait a minute. And then I saw and then I think the other thing too when during that match was when I U-turned out of Kilowattrel out into out of your Fezandipiti as you SD'd. That was I felt like was like the biggest thing, just because I was like, wait a minute, he SD'd on my like, was he banking on Hurricane missing or Thunderbolt or whatever? Like, yeah, it has good SPDF, and I'm like, I could have gotten chip damage. I'm like, what were you going to SD and do? Because this was before I even revealed Quick Attack. I'm like, this thing gets Quick Attack. I'm sitting there, I'm like, Quick Attack, and then I saw it die from over 50. I'm like, shit. I'm like, oh crap! I just lost the chestnut now.
I left my head off when Kilowattrel just died, because I was like, you can't go back into Kilowattrel, it dies, because I assumed it was 40 HP. It turns out that was like you needed quite a min roll to survive that.
Oh, originally I was 40 HP, but I put a bit more into HP for like Torn, Hurricane, like nasty plot. Like I wanted to like have another way of dealing with Torn that wasn't just going hard ting-lu. That was like the main thing for me. So I was like, I don't kill with Thunderbolt. I don't kill your tornadoes with Thunderbolt, so I might as well just be discharged and try to get some parries going. Yeah, it's not a guaranteed kill. It's a roll. on no bolt. It's a roll. It's the biggest shock. It was like 90 to 107.
Damn. Honestly, with Fezandipiti, when I SD'd, I like messed. I guess didn't see the calcs right on Tinkerton and messed up what your HP was, because I didn't think I'd kill with double kick, then I'd get revenge, but I was just trying to open you up for like Tornadus or Trevenant or something.
Oh, trust me,
because I was like in such a bind.
Well, trust me, when I saw double kick, I'm like, this thing gets that? I've never seen Fezandipiti's move pool at all. All I just saw was SD, and I'm like, what are you trying to revenge kill me with? And then I saw double kick. The first hit took it over. I'm like, are you shitting me? Like, oh, he's technician. Like, oh, it's technician boosted, and he's +2, and he's life. I'm like, oh yeah, my Tinkaton's dead. This was a bad idea.
I've ran fucking technician every week so far.
I swear I saw Ticketon drop. I'm like, oh, that wasn't a good idea. But at the same time, I was like, what was my countermeasure? Going annihilate and still dying to play. I literally had to bank on you missing play.
Yeah, you had nothing.
Yeah, I had
Legit.
to. Once my kilowatt, I'm a kilowatt. Once my I mean, probably if even my ogre pawn was still healthy. What was I doing back to you? Like cudgel crit that still resisted, and you still play rough. You had to play rough, not get the attack drop, and like I'm pretty sure +2 play rough from the quick attack will always kill me, even if I didn't take all that massive damage. So yeah, like oh my god, man! Like I think out of all the battles we've had, I think this was the most enjoyable one of the games we've played over the years. Like
I agree.
I think between like this game and the time before where I literally could not break a go-goat, which was probably the funniest thing.
Oh yeah, that one.
It was like, oh, I like how you beat me 5-0 with a go-go, and then you're like, I'm sorry, man, I didn't mean to stall you out, but I didn't have any other play. I'm like, what the hell are you apologizing for?
Well, I'm like, some people in the fucking community, like, I watch their like videos on me, and they're like, this man is stalling me just because I'm like setting up on them and recovering a bunch. Like, no, I'm not stalling you. I'm doing what I can to fucking win.
I think it was between the Go-Go game and the game before that when the game from Pack when you brought the Scarf Palito plus Armaldo team and Armaldo got 3 kills.
Yeah.
Yeah, I honestly was like, so why is your Palito faster than me? Why are you Scarf? I literally thought you were going to bring that back up for like the nostalgia or whatever. Like even if Palito had like a bad matchup, I felt like you could like still like encores and like not like prevent me from like setting up in Palito's face. Like you could have like burned like all my like the stuff I needed not to be burnt was like either. Like, the only thing I could have really switched into was Manaphy and Kilowattrel, and I wanted to Kilowattrel healthy for the Tauren, so I felt like it had some merit, if anything, if you wanted to go with Rain, but I guess it's like, what would you have dropped aside from...
Holyford actually doesn't get Scold anymore.
Well, I mean, that's
yeah.
right. So I guess it would be like you would have to, like, predict me to set up in front of you on the Encore or whatever, and then, like go out into like Golduck and like do whatever. So for some reason I thought this thing still got Scald. I don't know why, but
yeah,
I'm not gonna lie. This was this was a game. This was like I was like, you know what? Fine. I'm like, he saved the chestnut. Oh crap! It's Custapberry. Oh crap! It's worse.
I've managed to. Like, I've played, I think, 4 or 5 weeks now. I've managed to have it a 1-0 victory or loss every single fucking game. I didn't even mean to do that.
Some things just happen for a reason, man. Like, it's either the close wins or the nonsense losses to hacks. I feel a lot more comfortable knowing that I didn't have to forfeit. And like, if there was one game where I wish I didn't have to forfeit, I'm glad I was able to play this one because I knew some crap like this was going to happen. I knew you would. Like, there was no way in hell you disappointed me. Like, you came in.
Oh no, bro.
Like I could.
That's my favorite thing with building.
Like I still remember the game where I told you to help me meme, and it's like I got like the kill with the encore with the indoor reversible choreo and the SD claw.
And you got you got like 3 or 4 kills with the SD claw. It's such a base set.
I probably should have kept bounce on that set, but if I didn't have rock slide, I would have lost.
Yeah, it's so good.
Oh my
Honestly, God. I fucking love any Pokemon with like SD and priority in some way. It's just so good.
Yeah, I think if this game has taught me anything, that I need to like look up these newer Mon's move pools a bit more closely, because like even Fezandipiti, I felt like I had outs. Like even like I knew like Calm Mind was a thing, but I felt like that'd be a bit wasted. Like like you getting into a Calm Mind with Manaphy felt like a bit counterproductive, because like what would you get out of the the war. Like I would eventually like win the 1v1. Like you can roost stall and everything, but that doesn't really do anything.
Yeah, you destroyed me in that war.
Yeah, I felt like I did feel like if there was one set you could have brought, this was probably the best set, especially considering I did not know about quick attack. Like I did not look at this thing's move pool. I just knew that it was. I knew it was a problem. I just didn't know it'd be this big of a problem.
And like, yeah, the defense on this team is just not very good.
Yeah.
It's like, SD up, kill shit.
Yeah, I mean, I think if it's anything, it just shows more prominence to like not just assuming that a set like one set's going to be there. Like even physical shots make the most sense because like you do more damage to ting-lu without me being like even earthquake is like a little bit less. But like, you didn't have to like worry about Vessel of Ruin or like AV like playing a factor into your damage output, even if it wasn't that much. And you still had power gem to 2 KO Kilowattrel, so it made the most sense. I just wish it was like, I just wish like, why does it not go like, why is Wild Charge so goddamn weak, man? Like,
it's so shit.
It felt like a pain for you to bring, and I felt even worse when it was like, man, my way of dealing with Sandy Shocks is literally hurricaning it and not missing. And it's like, oh crap, I actually hit my hurricanes on this.
Yeah, I was kind of surprised. Oh, shit, Sandy Shocks is dead. Alright. Well.
I was like, wait a minute, how am I 3 KOing you? I'm not even max special attack on my Kilowattrel. And then I see your set, like, oh, you're offensive. It makes more sense now. And you're like, if you had gotten up, if you actually got up a third layer of spikes, you probably would have Fezandipiti would have probably got 6 kills if you got up the third layer of spikes there. Like, not gonna lie.
You probably could have got Mana Feed too if I stayed in because I lived that skull.
Yeah, I was so surprised when you swapped out of Fezandipiti. You're like, I assume like I outsped Fezandipiti, but I knew you didn't want to risk the skull burn. And then when I saw you come back in, and I'm like, oh crap, skull didn't kill, but I got the burn anyway. I'm like, wow, this thing could have really gotten 6 kills, but I burned him. So it's.
I was on like such a high when that happened. When I got like the 3 kills and Mana Feed came out, I'm like, okay, I'm finally in range to die to a skull, but I don't want Fezandipiti to die because it still seems important for annihilating ting-lu in the back. So I'm just gonna Sec Trevenant. And then, yeah, I remember about Acid Armor. After I swapped down, like, shit. Thankfully, you were not that. I'm pretty sure you just went for the Tail Glow at some point.
Yeah, I went for Tail Glow afterwards. I didn't think, I was like, what do I even Tail Glowing was, I probably could have just attacked again just to, like, not be in that situation to where you got in Torn and then got the Tailwind up. But I think still, like, it still would have came down to me not knowing what the chestnut was, because I thought you needed Tailwind for outspeeding Mana Feed, but then you never revealed Scarf because it came in on Pokemon that was... It came in on... what was it? It came in on ting-lu and killed it, and then you swapped out of my Annihilate, because at that point you still thought I was Scarf.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh. I think it was because if I would hammered it, I would have died as well. So I felt like I needed to keep that for Mana Feed.
Yeah,
like
I think you probably would have still lived, but I think you would have died to the layer of to the Stealth Rock, if anything. So I understand that play. To the Torn Sack to get back in Fezandipiti was the correct play. But even then, when you swapped that, I was like, oh yeah, he's either Custap or he's Scarf at the end. And it's like, yep, he's Scarf. Fine. Like I figured if I was gonna lose that way, it was gonna be Scarf Chestnut. Like it didn't really matter. I was like, okay, it's a differential now. And of all the Pokemon standing, it's the goddamn burnt Trevenant.
That fucking Trevenant.
It came in first. My Mana Feed got burnt, switched back out, and won. all that work.
So much work.
Oh my god. Yeah, again, man, this was a banger of a game, man. I'm like,
I know, right? I'm so looking forward to it tomorrow. So much.
Oh man, hopefully we have another game like this in the future. Maybe even do it for playoffs when we meet again. That's for sure. But yeah,
man.
Yeah, if you guys, please, I implore you, check out my friend Razor. He is an incredible dude, incredible battler, and as you can tell by his building, he is not going to disappoint you, as I said earlier. But yeah, anything else you want to say for the people?
I actually want to know why you didn't bring God of War, to be honest, because I also thought that was pretty good. That was the main reason Bronzong came, because I was like, shit, you know what, Scarf God of War, or Specs God of War, or just can't make God of War really messes me up.
I think the main reason for I think it was like my thought process was you love Bronzong and you were going to do
Dude.
everything in your power to make sure Bronzong was alive for everything I had for my Gardevoir, for my Cleavor. And it was like, what do I put? What does Gardevoir do that doesn't get stopped by him going into Bronzong and forcing me to Shadow Ball over and over again? And yeah, I did not think I'd be taking out Bronzong that quickly, but then again, I wasn't expecting Choice Band of all things.
Well, sitting as God of War wasn't there and Cleaver wasn't there, I felt like I didn't really need it. And I felt like trying to get damage on Annihilate was better to get in range of like Sucker Punch and Helmet and shit.
Yeah,
and with the Sparks damage.
Yeah, it definitely made a lot of sense. But yeah. Oh man, again, banger game. I'm not even mad about the result. This was totally worth pushing this game back for sure.
100%.
And yeah, once again, guys, be sure to check out Razorclaw. Check all the other coaches taking part, and we'll leave it at that. Any last words for the people?
No. Not sure.
Alright, so we're going to leave it at that, guys. Thank you guys again so much for watching. Thank you again, Razorclaw, for joining me for the interview. And we're going to leave it at that. And yeah, we'll see you next time. This is Tone, signing out for now. Peace out.